Previously on Pokémon Light Platinum Nuzlocke Challenge. The traditional Pokémon crooks in the storyline got introduced. Apparently they're being called Team Steam here. We meet up with the most knowledgeable gym leader I've ever seen, named Jessica. Jessica used Fury Attack against Drivlin. I still don't understand how she could have lost that battle. Fortunately for her, I was just around the corner to save her from further harm. I received a Mudkip, hooray! And we left off right in front of the gym, where I bump into Indigo League champion Red, who wants to battle me. Today on Pokémon Light Platinum Nuzlocke Challenge. Greetings my most faithful disciples, and welcome to a new part in this amazing awesomeness that is my Pokémon Light Platinum Nuzlocke Challenge. So, last episode we left off right before the battle against the Indigo League champion Red. Let's see how we'll fare against his team. We shouldn't be able to stand a chance against the reigning champ of Kanto with its lifelong companion Pikachu. And just to remind you folks, before the battle, Red mentioned that this was a team that actually beat the gym leader of this place. Well, after seeing the gym leader use a normal type attack against a ghost type in the previous episode, even that shouldn't surprise me anymore. Luckily, after I beat him, Red is a good sport and he shares his HM1 with me. Since I don't have an HM slave, I'll probably have to use that move on a valuable team member, most likely it's going to be a Bayleaf. Alright, after the battle, it's time to enter the gym and start my first gym challenge. During this challenge I will mostly be relying on Birdweed and Growlithe to finish the job, since all of my opponents should be using bug types. Not much happened during these battles, so I'm going to skip most of it. It's nothing you haven't seen before. Most of the opponents are using Metapods and Aura Cocoon type Pokemon that should have been fully grown at the level they are, with the exceptional Butterfree every now and then. Oh, and there also were some level 5 Gumbies ambushing me while I was strolling around the gym. Why? Simply because they can. I mean, Jasmine already said these pesky creatures are harmless, so it must be her fault for keeping them locked up in this gym. But not anymore, Gumby, I'm going to save you. On another note, I should however mention that while facing the trainers in this gym, my Mudkip evolved into a Marshtomp, thereby becoming the much needed ground type I was looking for. Also it learned Mudshot, a move I'll probably be spamming for the rest of this playthrough. Or until Marshtomp learns Earthquake, if he ever lives to see that day. But enough chit chat, it's time to gain my first badge. I have to say it's awesome to see how the gym leaders in this game always have their strongest Pokemon standing right next to them. Or at least I think they do, since the first one has a Vespiquen standing next to her. So according to Jessica, she will protect her gym with all the power she has. What for, I wonder? It's not like I'm invading or something. So I lead with Growlithe, because he's definitely the best choice against these bug types. Jessica sends out a Whirlipede, and my god, do these little critters leave a bad taste in my mouth. Good riddance. It's not soon after using a couple of Embers that Jessica already has to rely on her beloved Vespiquen. But even though that Queen Bee is a lot bulkier than most of the bug types, it takes Growlithe nothing more than 3 Embers to finish her off, partially thanks to the critical hit. Her last Pokemon apparently is an Ariados, which has pretty weak special defense, and that's pretty much the end of the battle. Obtaining my first gym badge was like a walk in the park. And Jessica not only remarks me with a gym badge, but also with a nice toxic move, which I immediately decide to waste on Bayleaf just because I can. And while I'm at it, why not waste my headbutt TM on my Pure, who actually sounds like Rattata if you listen closely. So that's pretty much all there is to see in Indoor City. While I'm leaving Indoor City, this guy wonders why I'm in such a hurry and he gives me running shoes. That's awfully kind of you, mister, you're a real lifesaver. Now I might even be able to finish my full playthrough twice as fast. We arrive at Route 404, so we're able to catch a new Pokemon. That is, if I can eventually find my way around a bunch of trainers with at least 5 Pokemon each. Deja vu. I also received a Quicklaw from a gentleman. And that's when I decide to try my luck at catching my first Pokemon I encounter on this route. It's a Spinarak. Oh my god, that was just what I'm looking for. Thank you, Lord. This must be the first time someone's ever been this happy to encounter a Spinarak. I met this bright young chap who apparently wants to get rid of his Scyther in exchange for a Spinarak.
Hey, that's a hella good deal!
I'm not completely sure what to do here, since I don't want to screw up this once in a lifetime opportunity, so I'm checking which Pokemon has the lowest attack power, and as usual, I stumble upon Bayleaf to do the trick. Pokeball, go! Great success, Spinnerack was gone. I'm not nicknaming you since you'll just be sacrificed to add the most amazing bug type ever to my team, since apparently some weirdo in our city is looking for a Spinnerack while the roads around town are crawling with them. Would you like to trade my Scyther for a Spinnerack? I sure do, mister. That fellow will soon be slashing through the opposition like a knife slashes through butter. And it's a trader Pokemon, whose name will forever be Cutter. What an appropriate name to give to a Scyther. What? Are you serious? He was holding a metal coat? Why, won't you look at that? A level 12 scissor at my disposal. I can never lose this Nuzlocke challenge anymore. I will be certainly trading that, so I'll be able to use them as soon as possible. Back to Route 404, and we stumble upon another two arch rivals to add to the pile. Apparently these two are called Lunatick and Solana. I wonder where they are getting all these weird names. And right after the battle starts, the opposition is already disadvantaged by the lead Pokemon. And now you see why Marshtomp is one of the best starter Pokemon you can ever get. He's just so versatile, as long as you don't let him suffer a hit from a grass type attack. So Mr. Lunatick congratulates me on the way I've led my Pokemon to victory, and both arch rivals leave the place in different directions. Lunatick is going back to Inner City, so at least we won't have to see that fellow again for a long time if this game keeps track of where these arch rivals should and could be hanging out. But don't worry, there's plenty more rivals where those came from. Right after facing Lunatick, I went north to find one of the most amazing TMs just lying in the grass in front of me. TM35 stands for Flamethrower, which still is one of the most reliable fire moves up to date. Learning this move so early in the game can prove to be a great advantage for at least a certain amount of time. There you go, Growlithe, make me proud. It didn't take too long before I arrived at some trees who were having a bad day and decided to stand in my way. Since swimming around it is no option, or walking right in between the trees, or jumping over the bushes, or even walking through behind the big tree, I decided to cut it down just because that's exactly how evil I am. And who else would be more fitting to waste a perfectly useful move spot on than Cutter? Cutter cuts the bush and we're good to go on. Moving on to Route 405, that means I can catch another Pokemon. It is at this place that I stumble upon a cow farm, which reminds me of the farm in the original Gold and Silver games. Mr. Farmer, just like all the rest of the people in this world, sees my great potential and wants to give away one of his milk machines. Sweet. But since I've got no free spot in my party, I have to come back later to pick that one up. Unfortunately for me, I get ambushed right away by arch-rival Kenta, who wants to see how much I improved. This better be good, Kenta, for wasting my time. Kenta leads off with a Badoo and immediately relies on the only thing he can do, crippling my Pokemon with status effect moves. This Badoo even manages to survive a flamethrower attack, but luckily enough, my Growlithe doesn't suffer too much from paralysis. On comes the Crocodile, which I count with my Rattata. Excuse me, Piotr. Two shockwaves make a nice burst from that Totodile. Up next is another grass type, cause rival teams these days don't even have to be balanced anymore. On comes Cutter, and that's where I noticed that he has one big issue. He has an attitude problem. Hopefully Bayleaf can finish him off, and of course, Paralyzer strikes again. Well played, Kenta, well played. Right when I switch out to my Growlithe, Kenta decides to switch out to his Magby. Shellshock is there to take the hit and return the favor right back to my opponent, but oddly enough, Kenta makes another switch. I swear it's like I'm battling a trainer in real life here. So who should I pick now? I mean, half my team is already crippled, so I decide to put my half-dead Marshtomp on the field. Since he cannot get paralyzed, Kenta decides to confuse him instead. Even after all those charm attacks, it's still a one-hit KO for my part, and Marshtomp can finish the job, but only after getting burned and hitting himself in confusion. Okay Kenta, I've beaten you fair and square, now give me free stuff please. The stingy bastard decides to leave without sharing any of his wealth with me. But hey, at least we won't be seeing him again for another episode. It's not long before I cross paths with a bunch of Snorlax who are blocking my way while I was trying to cross a bridge. I don't know how many more déjà vus I can take for one day. The girl close towards the bridge says that she is one of the owners of the honey shop in Inhor City, and she says that Snorlax only can be awakened by using honey. The question I'm having here is why? Weren't Snorlax only supposed to be awakened by shoving a Pokeflute up their asses? I mean, if even regular attacks cannot awaken these fellows, why would honey do the trick? Okay, I'll head back to Inhor City and finish this fetch quest. In other news, Moo milk abuse time, yay! After returning to the Miltank farm, which was close by the sleeping Snorlax, and after putting my rebellious scissor in a box, right where it belongs, well at least for now, I go back to the farmer who wanted to give away one of his prize cows. Since it's a free Pokémon, once again, I cannot nickname him right away. It's only after receiving the Miltank that I remember the Nuzlocke rule where I'm only supposed to be catching one Pokémon at each place, which just rendered my option of catching one of those sleeping Snorlaxes on the bridge impossible. But I suppose a Miltank is not a bad Pokémon either. It's bulky, has pretty decent physical strength, and is protected against heat and cold. Plus, it is a surprisingly fast Pokémon too. Surprise, surprise, the honey indeed woke up the sleeping Snorlax. Just look at how much damage that Snorlax can inflict with one tackle on my tank Shell Shock. It is only now, after 2 amnesias, that I'm completely sure dog type moves are special moves in this game. That Snorlax appears to have a belly drum, which would have been an amazing move in important battles if used correctly. After his defeat, Snorlax vanishes into thin air and I can finally move on with my journey. After battling my way up north, I arrive at a small village called Phantom Town. I suppose there won't be a gym around here, but we'll find out about all that in the next episode. It's time to say farewell again, my fellow disciples, but before I leave you, here's another trivia question for you guys. The question is, which of the following Pokemon is the heaviest one? If you click the wrong answer, you'll be a good sport and subscribe to my channel. If you click the right answer, you'll be redirected to a YouTube video saying you've won. Adios!